So this is a world dominated by the wills of men, and clearly women, their role, their lives are determined by what the men allow them to do or not to do. And we have a sort of meta comment on that because I am a man playing a woman, which was common for the time in the theater, but with our production we're saying just a little bit more to solidify that theme.
It's interesting because in those first scenes, I really do find myself, you know, controlled by the other people in the scene with me. I find I feel a little manhandled.
You know, I mean, I think Benvolio, he's definitely one of the boys. I mean, they're kind of hanging out in the street and they're making penis jokes and they're fighting each other, and it definitely, you know, feels very juvenile and very male.
Yeah, it's a really masculine play. Who knew, right?
I think what interests me most about that is being the prince in the male-dominated society, because you really feel it in this play, because you feel the pressure of, you know, all these really strong men that, you know, are older than me and very, you know, manly.
Well, one of my characters is Montague, so he is, you know, at the forefront of these two families.
He's the quintessential dominant male, I think, in this play. Capulet is. I say, but woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. I find that very interesting. He's saying these sort of like, kind of like wonderful, like, you know, liberal kind of things about his daughter. That my will to her consent is but a part. You know, and she agreed, within her scope of choice lies my consent in fair according voice. But then he totally reneges on all of that. Well, after Tybalt dies, he turns in to that quintessential, domineering, chauvinistic male that he knows best, father knows best, and when Juliet says no, how dare she go down the streets, because if you don't do what I tell you, I'll dare acknowledge you.
Because she cannot say to her daughter, do what you want, like run away. If there's someone else, run away with them. You don't have to do what your father says, but instead she knows that her daughter does have to do what her father says, and that's heartbreaking.
Well, I suppose there are two females in this show played by men. I'm playing one of them, and the wonderful Kristen Malfo's playing the other, Lady Capulet.
Yeah.
And so I think that is sort of, our portrayals are kind of heavy in that theme, that even the women have this kind of male domineering sort of power or force that they try to exert over Juliet to control and to manipulate her to our will as well. And I think that comes out in the scene where we're trying to really put the idea of marrying Paris in her head. It's very much our will. It's very clear that she is not very interested, but that she is being compliant to our wills, and then sort of spirals out of control there.
I mean, Paris represents who Juliet should be marrying and who Juliet should be with. And he's very much kind of in line with Capulet, and he and Capulet kind of have this deal going in Friar to a certain extent to make this arranged marriage happen. And so it's sort of fun to play the romantic foil in that way too, of like, this is society's guy for Juliet and absolutely the completely wrong person for her.
So many people are, you know, I find it as a young person, so many people tell you that all the time, like, follow your heart, do what's in your heart, and everything will work out fine. Well, Romeo does that, and he rejects, you know, the Capulet feud. He rejects the brawl. He rejects the lack there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords kind of thing, and you know, he gets his love. He gets his wish.
That switch and her deciding to, you know, just kind of follow her heart and be headstrong, and you know, I feel like the play just lends itself to that. You know, her father in the latter half of the play, when she says she's not going to marry Paris, like, he goes nuts, and she still says, I'm not going to do this. You know, and she still says to him, not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love. I mean, she's, you know, putting her foot down right there. And that's not, I mean, that's not conceptually for us, that's the play.